Hey guys. So today I want to chat about our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. Now, we talk about the mind. When we talk about the mind, we use the image of a brain, but it's important to note that the mind is in every cell of our bodies. As humans, we think in pictures, and to better understand concepts, especially abstract ones, it helps us understand when we can associate a picture to it. So everything we think and do can be divided up according to our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. So before going any further, if I asked you which mind you spend more time with, which would you say? Do you think your conscious mind or your subconscious mind runs your life? So to help me explain this concept, allow me to introduce you to our stick person. So Bob Proctor created this stick person to help us understand the mind. Remember, when we try to understand concept, it's helpful to see it in a picture. So the top circle represents the mind, and these little antennas and hairs, it looks like little hairs at the top, these are our five senses. We have our conscious mind, which thinks logically, processes the information from our five senses, it analyzes, and it keeps us alive. So that's the job of the conscious mind. Then we have the subconscious mind, which is the collection of our beliefs, our habits, and our emotions. And then we have the body, which is the instrument of the mind. And I'll explain this a little bit in a little bit. So every single human on this planet can be seen as the stick person, which makes it that much more powerful of a tool. So every single one of us is just one of these little stick people walking around, interacting with each other, but we're all just the stick person. When I started seeing everyone as the stick person, it truly helped me release judgment. So our conscious mind actually controls 95% of our lives, which means that our conscious mind only controls 5%. So our subconscious mind is controlling 95% of our lives. And we're only using our conscious mind 5% of the time. So throughout this little webinar, you will further understand why each part of the mind is important and what we can do about it if we're not happy with our current results. So let's take, for example, driving. I want you to think about this. How many times have you gotten into your driveway after a long day at work and not remember how you got there? You know you drove, you know you're safe, but you're unsure about what you saw on the drive, what songs you listened to, or what turns or stops you made. This is because your subconscious mind, which controls our habits, was controlling your drive home. Right? So most of us, I know I do, I use the same route all the time, right? Unless there's some reason why I can't take that route, it's the same route to get somewhere, and it's the same route to come home. So this becomes a habit. And now my subconscious mind is on autopilot when I'm driving, right? I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I know which turns I need to take. This is just all happening. It's all a habit, right? Or you decide that you're cutting out unnecessary carbs and sugars. Then you go to a party and someone offers you a plate of goodies, cake, cookies, candy. Then what appears to be suddenly you're eating the entire plate of goodies. Someone asks you why you ate it, and all you can answer is, I don't know. It's because it's habit, right? It's habit to eat those things. So your subconscious mind kicked in, said, hey, we enjoy these things. We're going to eat them. It's normal, right? So these are our habits. And it's not right or wrong or good or bad. It's just the way things are. But we have the power to change it. So we'll dive into it more soon, but let's look at these two parts of our mind. The conscious mind analyzes information, it plans, it keeps us safe, it controls our logical and critical thinking, and it processes the information input from our five senses. So all pretty important components, if you ask me. Okay, so I'll say that again. Conscious mind analyzes information, it plans, it keeps us safe, it controls our logical and our critical thinking, and it processes the information input from our five senses. Okay, and then we have our subconscious mind. This part controls our concept of ourselves, it controls our habits, it contains our beliefs, our imagination, our patterns, our values, our intuition, the creativity, emotions. And again, these are all pretty important components. But there's one more thing about the subconscious mind that's important to know. It can't actually tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. Okay? This piece of information is critical, and you'll see why. So, our conscious mind, right? So I said, is the logical thinking. It's responsible to analyze situations coming up with reasonable solutions. It uses reasoning skills to objectively study any problem and makes a rational conclusion about how to proceed. This is where our free will lies. So this is where you decide what you want to do and what you will focus on. Our sensory factors and intellectual faculties are here. So our sensory factors, that's like what we see, smell, taste, hear, and touch. Our intellectual faculties, such as your will and your imagination. This allows you to imagine and use your energy to create any idea or thought you want. Your conscious mind has the power to accept and reject any idea. Okay, so your subconscious mind, I said, does not know what's real or what's fake. And your conscious mind can choose to accept or reject any idea. Those two pieces of information are so important to hold on in your mind, okay, with this information. Now, our subconscious mind controls 95% of our lives. Kind of a big deal. So this part of our mind is responsible for our self-image, our concept of self, our beliefs, our habits, our values, and our emotions. It has been programmed during your entire life, storing information and accepting it as the truth. Because guess what? It can't tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. So maybe you overheard your parents saying that you were a stubborn child and you stored that as your truth. So you heard it, your conscious mind decided to accept it, and then your subconscious mind stored it as your truth. Right? So you heard it, came in from your five senses, your conscious mind made the decision, accept or reject, it accepted, moved down to your subconscious mind, and it stored it as truth. Okay? So for the past 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, you have been the stubborn sibling because you have accepted it as your truth. So now this is how you act. Your conscious mind accepted the information as truth, okay, has most likely repeated it to itself, stored it in the subconscious mind, and now that controls your actions. Okay, so now we just added another key factor in here. You heard it, chose to accept it as truth, stored it, believed it, and acted like it. Okay, so it's like a cycle. And then because you're acting like it, most likely you're hearing about it again, And then the cycle continues. You're just reinforcing it, right? You're doing something that makes you look stubborn. Somebody says something about you being stubborn. Oh, that just reinforced it. Now it's going in a loop, right? So this is what happens when kids grow up with a poverty mindset. They know nothing else, and this becomes their programming by no fault of their own. But how would you explain those who overcame their circumstances? Would you say that it's just luck? I hate to break it to you. Well, actually, I'm kind of happy to break it to you because it's great news for you. It had nothing to do with luck. Instead, they chose to reprogram their subconscious mind. It had nothing to do with luck. They didn't like how things were looking, and they decided to accept a different truth, which then set up a new belief, which then created new results. Okay? So they reprogram their subconscious mind. Now, you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind, just like if it was a computer. Okay? Stick around at the end and I will share how. Okay? Now, it's important to understand that anything you repeat to yourself becomes fixed in your subconscious mind, just like the example I mentioned. Right? So if your conscious mind's accepting it, you're most likely repeating it to yourself, which is affirming, right? So if we go with the stubborn piece, okay, I heard it, I accepted it, I'm repeating it, I'm believing it, I'm acting like it, and I get the same results. Which then I hear it again, I accept it, I repeat it to myself, I believe it, I act like it, and I get the same results. And here we go, right? But there is a way to break that cycle. If you're not getting the results that you want, there is a way to break that cycle so that it looks different. And that's the reprogramming. Okay? So along with our stick body, so we've got our 5 senses up at the top of our head. Okay? We've got our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and then we've got our body. Okay? Our body is our physical representation of self. It's our meat stick. And we are constantly vibrating. So our molecules never rest. And the frequency at which they vibrate changes. So have you ever walked into a room and you find yourself thinking, I could cut the tension with a knife? That's because your body is picking up on the vibrations of the other people in the room. Or are there people in your life that you can be around for even just a few minutes and you can feel yourself lightening up and getting hyper or excited? Again, that's your body picking up on other people's vibrations. Okay? Or maybe there are people where you're around them for just a few seconds, or you think about being around them and you could feel your body tense up and you could just feel the energy. It feels like the energy is just draining out of you, right? That's the vibrations. Okay? So our body is the physical result of what is going on in our subconscious mind. It does what the mind tells it, whether you are aware of it or not. So if your self-image, your beliefs and habits aren't serving you, then it will express itself through your actions. It's also important to understand that we don't express feelings such as anxiety, worry, and fear. We actually suppress them in our body until it creates a dis-ease in the body, right? So we're not expressing these fears. We're not expressing the anxiety and the worry. We're actually trying to bury it inside, and it's in our body, and this changes the vibration of our body, and then this is what creates a dis-ease in your body. Okay? And to help us understand this, Okay. I want you to close your eyes and think of a situation where you felt immense sadness, when you felt alone. Maybe you lost someone. Maybe you think of a situation where you got so angry. And I want you to live there for a moment. I want you to picture it. Now check in with your body. Scan your body. Is your jaw clenched? Are your eyes watering? Are your brows furrowed? Are your muscles tense? Do you notice any uneasiness in your body? Okay. Now, I want you to physically shake it off, right? So open your eyes if you have to, or keep them closed, but shake your body, all of it. Just shake, 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 just to kind of reset. Okay. Now close your eyes again. But this time, I want you to reflect on a happy memory, a joyful situation, a person that you love, a hug from a family member. Picture it in your mind. Picture, if it's a family member, picture them beside you. You're talking and everything's flowing. It's easy because they're laughing. Maybe you've got the giggles with a friend. So again, let that image play in your mind. Now check in with your body again. Scan your face, your muscles, your stomach, maybe even your toes. How's your body feeling? Do you notice that you're smiling? Maybe you giggled a little bit. So does your body feel different from one situation to another? What changed? Because as far as I know, you were sitting in the same chair, in the same space for each of these scenarios. So it changed. It was your mind. Your body was a manifestation of your mind. So what does this mean? Right? Okay, well, this is fine and dandy, Mel. But now what? So the thoughts and images we choose to consciously impress upon the subconscious move our body into action. And the actions determine the results that we get. Okay. So the energy flows through us. We choose the thoughts we want to accept or reject. Then we allow it to move into our subconscious mind where it has to be accepted. That thought then causes the feelings, which moves through our body as an action. The action then creates the result. Okay, so the energy flows through us. We choose the thought, we allow it to move to the subconscious mind where it has to be accepted. It causes action in our body, and then it causes our results. Okay. So let's go back to anger. Let's say someone cuts you off on your way to work. You slam on the brakes and maybe even spill your coffee. If you're anything like me, your reaction is to swear, get discouraged. Okay, if you're anything like I used to be, I should say. Now, because you spilled your coffee, you go about your day angry at the world because you didn't get to drink your full coffee. Maybe there's a coffee stain on your shirt. You keep going back to that moment, thinking about all the things you wish you could say to that person. And even though hours have gone by, it's like you are in that moment again. and again and again every single time. This goes on all day, and you're noticing that you're having a terrible day. Your key doesn't work, your computer needs to be rebooted, your feet hurt, your head hurts, you're running late for class or a meeting, and the photocopier breaks, and you really needed some copies. The day is a domino effect of crappy situations. Then on your way home, you're reliving the experience from 8 hours ago. And to top things off, it seems as though you're hitting every flippin' red light on the way home. Have you ever had a day like that? I know I have, right? It's like, you're just like, where are all these dominoes coming from? It's just one thing after another, right? And it's exhausting just reading that situation. So what happened there, right? One incident 8 hours ago, and it's still pissing you off at the end of the day. Or you're thinking about something that happened years ago, and you're still feeling that anger. So what happened? The energy flowed in, the situation occurred, you chose your thought, which is to relive the situation, which caused the feelings, the anger. You were then vibrating on that frequency, emitting that gray cloud feel about you. And in turn, you created the results, which in this case happen to be more shitty things. Right? So energy flowed in, situation happened. I chose to relive the situation over and over, which kept causing anger, which caused me to act in that way and gave me the same kind of results. Situation, choose, accept, acted, results. Okay? The good news is that you could shift this. It is in your control. And now I love that word, control. And I love it even more since I've actually learned and understood its meaning and how to apply it. Right? So I'm not going around anymore controlling things that, or trying to control things that I have absolutely zero control over. Right? I can't control the weather. I can't control how somebody else is acting. I can't control somebody else's driving. So why am I bothering spending my energy on that when I could be using my energy wisely to control my own thoughts, myself, right? So this cycle, if it's not serving you, you can change it. You can control it. Okay? So the good news is that you can shift it. Okay, so now think, same situation. We're going back to that traffic. Okay, so someone cut you off, your coffee spilled, but you were able to save some. Now, because you know that everyone is just a stick person, you imagine that the person who cut you off is trying to get somewhere important, to a loved one or to an important meeting. You send that person love and hope that they arrive to their destination safely. You allow the feeling of relief and security because after all, you're safe. Everyone's okay. Minus the little bit of spilled coffee that you have, which isn't terrible because you remember, hey, I have extra coffee at work. I'll just fill my cup there. Score, right? Okay, you get to work. And to your surprise, a coworker thought of you this morning and bought you a coffee. You tell the tale of your morning and send out hope to that person again that they made it to where they were going safely. Every time the situation comes to your mind, you choose the thoughts, and in turn, you choose the feelings because you are aware. You're an aware stick person. The day goes well and everything is happening with ease, and the workday ends with success. You get in your car and you send kind words to that person from this morning, and to your amusement, every light turns green upon your arrival. What the heck? Right? So both days started with the same situation, but they had different outcomes, all because you chose your thoughts, which caused the feelings, which caused the actions, and created the results. And it's funny that I'm talking to you about this today because I had this situation this morning. I was following somebody and they were swerving everywhere. And I was aware of it. And I said, okay, I'm just going to back off because I'm in control of that. I backed off and I watched. I was aware of my surroundings. I was grateful that I was at a distance, that I was safe, that my kids were in the back singing to whatever they were singing to. And that person in front of me, they crossed that line and they went into the other lane onto oncoming traffic. They came seconds away. And I'm behind them and I just laid on the horn, hoping that they were going to snap out of whatever was going on in their head. They came back, everybody was safe. And I kept following that person. And I sent out love to that person. I hope that you make it to where you're going. I'm grateful that everybody is safe at the moment. I'm grateful that that situation that could have been so bad was saved. And as I turned and they kept going straight, again, I sent them love and I sent hope out that they make it safely, as well as everyone around them. Right? And I could have let that fester. I could have lived in that fear of, oh my gosh, what would have happened if, what if this happened? What if this? What if? And just let it eat me up all day. Now, not to claim that I'm perfect, because my mind did slip into that. However, because I am an aware stick person, I was able to regain control of my thoughts and shift it. Right? So being aware doesn't mean that it's always perfect, it's always dandy. It means that you're able to clue in when you're falling back into things that aren't serving you. How would it have helped me to judge that person and to send anger out all day because of what might have happened or what almost happened? Nothing good could have came of that, right? But again, I chose to accept a different thought. And then I sent out a different vibration, which shifted my vibration and my actions and my results. Okay. So now what? I gave you all this information about our conscious mind and our subconscious mind and how our body is a manifestation of what is going on in our minds. Our results are just the creation of what we are putting out, right? So when reprogramming your subconscious mind, two things are crucial: environment and constant space repetition. Your subconscious mind can be reprogrammed two ways: either due to a sudden impact, which is usually a negative impact, something like 9/11, or through constant repetition. Now, if you ask me, the constant repetition is a much easier route, right? We're going out of choice. We're choosing to to make the change, right? Now, I gave you the information. We went into the importance of this knowledge, but now is the part in this where you have to ask yourself, am I ready to reprogram my subconscious and shift the way I have been doing things so far so that I get the results that I want? I'll ask you again. Are you ready to reprogram your subconscious mind so that and shift the way that you've been doing things so that you can get different results? Right? So, how do you know that you're ready or that you need this? When we're done, do yourself a favor and journal on this for as long as it takes. I want you to reflect on these next few questions. Okay. What is it that I really want? Is it a change in careers? Do you want more money? Do you want to travel? Do you want your dream home? Do you want a family? Do you want freedom? And for this to be effective, you need to write down the first things that come to mind. Okay? Don't second guess yourself. Just write it all out. So if you're answering this and you say, I want $1 million, your mind is going to shift and it's going to be like, $1 million, who are you kidding? Come on, be realistic, right? Ignore that little voice. It wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you the same. Okay. But we want to think big. So write down that $1 million if that's what comes to mind. Okay. So write out everything that comes to mind that you want. Number 2, am I truly happy with my current state, with my current results? And again, this can be financial, it could be career, it could be personal, it could be mental health, it could be physical health. Okay. Are you truly happy with the way that things are? So, a question I like to ask myself, if I am at the end of my life and I think back and nothing changed from today on, okay, so I'm 36, and if, I reach 90, okay, am I thinking for all of these years, nothing changed, everything stayed the same? Am I going to be truly happy with my life? Now, this doesn't mean that you can't be grateful for what you have now or where you are. Okay. We can be grateful and we can want something else. That's a topic for another day, but you can. Okay. So, am I truly happy with my current state, my current results? Okay. And number 3, I've already said it. If nothing changes, at the end of my life, will I have accomplished all the things I believe I am here to do? We're all here for something. So at the end of your life, are you going to have accomplished all those things that you're here to do? So if your answers reveal that you're in need of a shift, okay, if you're answering and things are going well, you're on the path to getting the things that you want right now, you're happy with the way things are, with your results, and you're living on purpose, I am so proud of you. There's so much joy in my heart for you being on purpose. Okay. If your answers are saying you need a shift, for whatever the reason, this is where I can help. So, as your mindset and wellness coach, my mission is to help you create the life that you truly desire through self growth, through awareness, through healing, empowerment. And when you commit to this journey, you will create order in your mind. You will up-level your mindset. You will gain clarity on your purpose. And ultimately, you will be taking action towards the life that you desire. Okay? There's no wrong way of approaching this journey. There is only results. I should correct that. You need to want that change. Right? When I started this journey, I knew something had to shift. And I'm still working at shifting that every day because I'm not where I want to be. But I know where I'm going. I know that that person is attainable. I know that that position is attainable because I have shifted the programming of my subconscious mind. And it's due to the constant spaced repetition in the environment that I am in. So if you're ready to take action, you need to scan this QR code, okay? Text me, email me, or book a completely free connection call. No strings attached. Let's chat. I want you to share with me what your wants list just was and what you're thinking of your current results. Okay? Let's get you reprogramming your subconscious mind immediately so you can start living the life that you desire and the life that you deserve. I want to sincerely thank you for being here, gifting yourself with this knowledge, and I look forward to connecting with you.